News 25 is brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-990 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, new officers are ready to hit the streets, and the challenge to dive into chilly waters is met. News 25 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
A graduation ceremony is held for new county officers. It's Wednesday, January 16th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. 8 new officers are taking to the streets. The Nye County Sheriff's Office held their graduation Saturday night at Pahrump Valley High School's auditorium. News 25 caught up with Training Sergeant Adam Tibbetts.
The Constitution and government of the United States. The Constitution and government of the United States. And the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada. And the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada. Against all enemies, whether domestic or foreign. Against all enemies, whether domestic or foreign.
Class 01P 2018. They started in August of 2018 and finished just today.
How long is the actual training for the class instruction?
Nearly just shy of 6 months. They're cross-trained category 1, 2, and 3, so we could use them in any capacity. They can double as jail deputies if we were short or for whatever, if we had an emergency in the jail that we needed extra staff, they can be used in that capacity as well. The requirement to become a peace officer is that they have to graduate from a certified academy, so they did that, and they took our final exam, which passed them from our academy. They're then eligible to take the state certification exam, and they did that both in the same day.
All right, and these officers, I'm sure, passed with flying colors?
Yeah, the scores are really well. For giving the academic award, it was really tough because they were all in the mid-90s.
The kind of class leader, I know that you have an official award for her. She came up here and gave some real inspirational words, and I believe her name is Morgan Hines. She's the oldest one in the class. Can you explain that a little bit more? She was talking about some of the other officers being like the age of her children.
The age range of our class is pretty broad. We have somebody who's just over 21, and then Morgan Hines is in her mid-40s, and they all just have the desire to do good things for the community and help people.
They have a lot to do with people who might have mental health issues, and that's a lot of what street officers have to deal with. Can you explain that a little bit more and what that training was like?
They get elaborate training on how to deal with the mentally ill because, as you're probably aware, we face that a lot out in our community. We see it a lot in the jails and we see it a lot on the streets, so it's really imperative that we make sure that they're prepared for those kinds of situations. They've received training in just about every legal category that I could think of: Constitution law, particular statutes, particular chapters of the Nevada Revised Statutes, as well as tactics and techniques to accomplish the job. And a big emphasis is on officer safety because obviously we want them to go out there and be safe and come home every night.
And some of the things that that seems to be, especially when they're out there in the field training, is going to be how to deal with different situations, but they also get to know the general public here in our town, right? Because it seems that that community policing and getting to know our residents is very important.
We put a lot of emphasis on the customer service and respecting the people. It's just been something that's been important in my career, and fortunately I'm in a position where I can pass that mentality on to future generations.
We had some openings in the Nye County Sheriff's Office over the past few years. We're still, I'm sure, short at this time. When do you think the next academy is going to start, or are you looking into that right now?
We will never be fully staffed. As soon as we can get several trained, we lose various others for one reason or another: retirement, discipline issues, or just they move on to bigger and better things.
These officers will be in Pahrump, though?
They're all assigned to the Pahrump area currently, but they'll be cross-trained and they'll be familiar with all of the areas of Nye County. And our next academy is being planned for October right now.
So how can people find out?
Keep watching the Nye County website, and the job postings will come up at that when they're open.
Congratulations to those officers and their families. Well, during their last meeting, the Board of County Commissioners approved real-time data sharing concerning drug overdoses to the State of Nevada Department of Health and Human Services Division of Public and Behavioral Health. This decision on the agenda is in order to provide support for public safety and health efforts to mobilize an immediate response to an overdose spike. The confidential data will be collected for 1 year as a result of NRS 450B and NAC 450B. The Nye County Social Services Fair served a couple of hundred people today, connecting individuals with much-needed help.
Today is our 4th annual Social Service Fair. We have 48 vendors that are here today participating, and as of 1 o'clock this afternoon, we've had about 200 participants walk through the door.
Wow. So, and what kind of services do you have here today?
We've got vendors here from Nevada Legal Services, Social Security's here, Nevada State Welfare, Veteran Services are here, some of the home health agencies are here, Adoption Agency, Home Health Care, WIC, Nevada WIC is here, the Health Nurse Office is here, just a wide variety. The Vet Trans, Transportation Services are here. It's just about a pretty wide variety of vendors that provide social services are here.
You've been having this for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, this is our 4th year.
Yeah. And this really brings everybody together as a one-stop shop to find out what we have available here. That's important for the rural community, isn't it?
It is, and it really shows the residents of Nye County that there's a lot more services out here than they realize. So yeah, we look forward to putting it on every year, and every year I'm surprised at the outcome that we have. So
if people want to get involved for next year, how can they do that?
They can contact our office here in Pahrump at Nye County Health and Human Services, and the number is 775-751-7095.
Much more news when News 25 returns.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Highway 160 construction blasting resumes Tuesday, January 22nd at 12:45 in the afternoon through Mountain Springs in Clark County. Motorists, however, can still expect up to a 2-hour delay. And federal workers are ordered to continue to work without pay during the government shutdown. Will the shutdown affect your tax return? Angela Miles reports.
Topping our news, a blow to Brexit in a stunning loss by more than 200 votes. Lawmakers in the UK rejected a Brexit deal proposed by Prime Minister Theresa May. That deal would have officially split the UK from the Eurozone. In the U.S., Wells Fargo topped on earnings expectations, but revenue came up light. Wells posted revenue at $21 billion. Wall Street expected $21.5 billion. Also, analysts are noting Wells Fargo spent $7.4 billion to buy back shares, which could help prop up the stock. The latest update from the IRS is that employees will work during the partial government shutdown, although few will be paid. The agency does plan to issue tax refunds. A new bid for Sears is being made by Chairman Eddie Lampert. Bloomberg reports the new offer is more favorable to the department store chain and its creditors.
And the Wine Ridge RV Resort hosted a popular but chilly event called the Polar Bear Plunge Saturday afternoon.
We had the 3rd annual Polar Bear Plunge here today at Wine Ridge. Had about 10 or 12 participants gathering up ducks for their gift certificates from Pahrump Valley Winery.
Wonderful.
And now we're going to be down to the clubhouse for hot soup, hot toddies, and also some, I think, Irish coffee. And we do this for the No to Abuse Foundation here in Pahrump.
Wonderful.
We had a 50-50 raffle to raise monies for them and donations. And so we're going to do this every year about now. The pool was about 41 degrees. And the hot tub, as you can see, maybe, was a good 102 degrees. So we had a nice ice bath, and then followed by some nice warm water and also some great food down at the clubhouse.
No, it shows the creativity because Wine Ridge came up with this like on their own. I mean, this was something that they brought to us and said, would you obviously be a recipient of that? And we're grateful. But you're right, just like there are so many things creative that people can do, and this is certainly one of the most creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For more information on No to Abuse,
751-1118. No to Abuse is growing, so we're really thrilled about the new growth we have. One is that we now have an advocate at the Sheriff's Department to help with TPOs, temporary protection orders, things like that as people come in. And we also have an elder abuse advocate now. So if you know of an elderly person that's being abused, financially exploited, something that would go on with some kind of criminal activity against an elder, we have someone specifically for them as well.
And a new study says about 1 in 7 American households are watching old-fashioned over-the-air television broadcasts, an increasingly appealing choice for former cable customers who have cut the cord but still want to catch up with their local news and network stations. The new data from market research firm Nielsen shows that over-the-air viewing increased to 14% of all homes last year from 9% in 2010. At the same time, the percentage of households subscribing to cable or satellite TV peaked at 88% in 2010 and has since sunk to 79%, according to the surveys by Lichtman Research Group. Catching free over-the-air broadcasts simply by adding an antenna that costs $50 or less likely appeals to many cord cutters. And for more information on that, you can give us a call here at the station on how you can cut the cord at 775-727-9400, extension 201. We'll help you get that antenna up. News 25 will return right after this break.
News 25 is brought to you by William H. Jackson Injury Attorneys. Injured? Get Bill and Robin, your local injury attorneys.
Death Valley National Park announced today that some recently closed areas of the park will once again be accessible to visitors in the coming days. Some visitor services, including campgrounds and the Stovepipe Wells Contact Station, will also reopen using revenue generated by recreation fees. Visitors should go to the park website at mps.gov while planning their trip to get the latest information on accessibility and available services. Areas that have been recently closed but that are or will be accessible to the park visitors include Dante's View, Artist Drive, Natural Bridge, Harmony Borax Works, and Mustard Canyon, Salt Creek, Keene Wonder Mine, Mesquite Sand Dunes, and historic Stovepipe Wells roads. National Park Service officials have determined that by using federal land and recreation enhancement funds to immediately bring back park maintenance crews to clean restrooms, remove trash, and remove health and safety risks, park staff will be able to restore accessibility to the park. Loretta Lindell from the Prump Arts Council invites budding actors to the audition of the Missoula Children's Theater's production of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
So the performances, this show this year is going to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now this is not a Disney musical production, this is an original musical production from Missoula Children's Theater, and it'll be a lot of fun. 2 directors come to town, they're very talented young people, very well versed in working with children, and they come to town. We hold auditions. The auditions for this show will be on the 21st of January. That's a Monday. It's Martin Luther King Day, so we hope for a really good turnout. 1 o'clock at the Pahrump Valley High School auditorium will be the auditions.
No experience necessary.
No experience necessary. The directors always say just bring a smile and your enthusiasm, and it's open to all children in the community as long as they are of kindergarten age through 12th grade. The students that are cast for the main roles will generally start rehearsing that very day on the day of the audition, so that's Monday afternoon. And then for the rest of the week, depending on the students, what the roles they've been cast in, they will come directly after school, and some will rehearse that time, some will rehearse in the evening, so it varies. And they bring a schedule with them once they get the cast situated.
This is a week-long commitment.
It's a 1 week-long commitment, so if the students are cast in the show, they do have to be available for the rest of the week in the afternoons or evenings. And then, of course, certainly for the performances on Saturday. We want our families and children to come out and see the performances. It's just a great lot of fun, and they're geared very specifically to children. So it's a wonderful opportunity for our youth to see live musical performances. The audition is at 1 o'clock on Monday, January 21st at the Pahrump Valley High School Auditorium. The performances will be on the following Saturday at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And the tickets are $3 for students and $5 for adults. And we also have a special $20 family ticket. So bring your family for $20. You could even see both performances. We wouldn't charge you extra for that. For more information on Pahrump Arts Council, we have a new telephone number. This is a really big deal. So 775-505-1362.
And of course, Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The annual fundraising brunch to give scholarships in his name is happening at the Pahrump Community Church Events Room on West Street.
This coming Monday at 11 o'clock at Pahrump Community Church, and it's a fundraiser for our scholarship event.
And that's to help the kids in the school, right, with the scholarship?
Yes, it's open to Pathway students, any student who's homeschooled, or of course any student from the high school. Anyone could apply for the scholarship. It's open to everyone.
And that's open right now?
It will be open in about 2 weeks. I just need 2 weeks to get the scholarship finished.
So what are we looking forward to at the Martin Luther King All People's Brunch?
We have a whole bunch of entertainment, including a Hawaiian dance. So I'm really excited about the Hawaiian dance this year. And we changed a lot of the format, so it's not as much as going to church on Sunday this year. It's a little more entertaining, so it should be a very interesting afternoon.
Everybody's invited?
Everyone's invited. Tickets are $20 in advance, and you can call me, or $25 at the door.
All right. And so the church is located where?
Pahrump Community Church is located right behind Carl's Jr. And you're going not to the church, behind the church, there's a new building. That's where we are. It's 11 to 2, and doors will open at about 11:15, so come on in.
Well, there's still some notable weather out there. Let's take a look outside on our weather cam. We'll have weather right after this break.
News 25. Weather is brought to you by Pahrump's best kept secret, Q Barbecue. Try it for yourself. Low and slow. Queued for 16 hours.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donahue. Today's highs. In Pahrump, 58 degrees, 56 in Amargosa, 65 in Death Valley, 50 in Beatty, 40 in Goldfield, 41 in Tonopah, 60 in Fallon, and 49 in Fernley. There's actually a pretty big gap between those two. For tonight, 50 degrees in Pahrump, 49 in Amargosa, 50 in Death Valley, 45 in Beatty, 35 in Goldfield and Tonopah, 41 in Fallon, and 38 in Fernley. Tonight in Pahrump, we're expecting a 60% chance of rain, a low of 50 degrees, or average is 32. Sunset at 4:53 p.m. Winds out of the south-southeast at 10 miles per hour with 14 mile per hour gusts. For tomorrow, another 60% chance of rain, a high of 57 degrees or low of 40. UV index is at 2. Sunrise at 6:53 a.m. Winds out of the south at 15 with 22 mile per hour gusts. So it's supposed to be really windy tomorrow. Looking ahead to our 7-day, we already covered that 60% chance for Thursday. We're expecting sunny skies on Friday, and those clouds are going to return Saturday through Monday. And then the sunny sky is expected to return once again on Tuesday. Temperature-wise, we're kind of going to be dancing around in those high 50s for the next 2 days. On Saturday and Sunday, we're going to jump up to those low 60s and back down to those high to mid 50s on Monday. Overnight temperature, we're seeing a similar pattern, a low 40 degrees on Thursday and Saturday, and then we're just going to be back down in those mid to high 30s for the rest of the week. So with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna.
And the National Weather Service adds that a major winter storm will begin to impact the eastern slopes of the Sierra and, to the lesser extent, the White Mountains tonight, beginning at 4 p.m. and lasting through 4 a.m. on Friday. An extended period of heavy snowfall, coupled with 50-plus mile-per-hour winds, will lead to a high-impact winter storm for elevations above 6,500 and especially above 8,000 feet. The Spring and Sheep Range Mountains are expecting significant snow as well, but mostly above 8,500 feet. Beginning at 10 p.m. tonight and lasting until 4 a.m. on Friday morning, widespread rainfall is expected in the lower elevations area-wide. And KPVM TV is looking for interns. If you're interested in finding out more about television and radio, give us a call, 775-727-9400, extension 201. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell from all of us here at KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.